Well, first you get the gum in your mouth straight, like this. And then you get it on your tongue and then put it out like this.
Right.
And then take your tongue out and blow.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do.
How come bubble gum bubbles, but regular gum doesn't?
I guess they put some special stuff in it, or make it thicker so you can blow bubbles. Because some gums, you can't blow bubbles with it. They just pop.
Well, probably because they put this special stuff in to make it stretch or something.
Well, bubblegum, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's airy or something. It's thicker. I guess they put something which makes it a lot thicker.
I have no idea.
Bubblegum bubbles because there's a lot of rubber in there.
Bubblegum bubbles and regular gum doesn't, because bubblegum is bubblegum.
Where does honey come from?
The flowers. They squish the honey out.
From flowers, and go and bees collect it and make a honeycomb.
A tree. A honey tree. Goes in its nest and spins it. You know, like put it like it's he gonna put it in a little pot. Bee. Out of flowers.
The nectar is in the flower, if there's the proper moisture content in the ground. And the flower works like a thermometer. When it gets warmer, the nectar raises in the flower. If it gets up close enough to where the bee can reach it, the bee comes around and sucks the nectar up. The bee has its own stomach and then another pouch, which we call the second stomach. And that's where they store the honey, in that one. But first, the bee always feeds itself first, and then the reserve honey goes in the pouch, which she digests. When you smoke them, they rush inside the hive and fill themselves with honey. If you give them too much smoke, it hurts them more than anything. It gets them mad. But if you give them the right amount, they'll go in, fill themselves with honey, and it makes them a little calmer. And therefore, you can work them. You cannot work a hive without smoke. It's impossible. The bee brings the honey back to the hive. When she goes into the hive, she is met by a bunch of workers who are inside the hive, who do nothing but stay in, take honey out of her pouch, out of that extra pouch, and they store it. Now, if there's just a normal amount, they'll store it over the brood, because they'll feed the larvae with it. When the pouch is empty, naturally, the bee takes right away for another load. The bees in the hive take this honey and they mix it with water so they can handle it better. And then they put it in the cells and they make a terrific ventilation system. They fan it with their wings and they fan the nectar mixed with the water until they evaporate all the moisture that they want out of it, till the thing is up, and now you have your honey. After the cell is full, they secrete wax and they cap it. When we go out there and we get the honey off, we bring it into the warehouse, and once we get it in the building here, then we take it and take the capping off of it with a steam-heated vibrator knife, and whirl it in the extractor there, which the centrifugal force whips it out against the walls and drains into the tanks.
Bees make honey, sugar, anything sweet, chocolate bars with almonds. You need big bees to make the ones with almonds. Bees make any sweet product at all, including little blonde girls.
Hey, I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show. This is our 201st episode. Thanks everybody for tuning in yesterday for the big 200. So that was a series of short films called Hot Dog, and they were actually shown on television. I remember them very well in the early 70s. And some of you noticed this was like two little segments, bubblegum and then honey. In the middle of honey, suddenly it turned red. And this happens. And what this is, and it took me a while to figure it out, is that it used to be you could order replacement footage if your footage got damaged. So if you purchased a film or licensed a film in your library, it got shredded, you could approach the distributor and say, like, I need footage for, this many hundreds of feet. And sometimes there would actually be a marker, like a little footage count on the actual film in the leader. So you could specify, you could say, I need this segment, and that would cover the cost of when a film got shredded. So the color at the beginning of this was phenomenal, and at the end, not so great. So I'm thinking that it was probably shredded, because usually what happens, a film gets shredded at the beginning because a teacher doesn't know how to thread a projector and just keeps it running, and it just goes and just shreds the perfs. So that's what I think happened. And so I have many films where it's like, wow, this is a really good print. The color is beautiful. It's like it's almost never been screened. And then like 2 minutes in, suddenly, boof, everything's beet red and scratched. So that's something that happens often in collections. I've shown maybe one skateboarding film so far, and I'm surprised. I have a couple, and this one is Skateboarding to Safety. Enjoy.
Skateboarding is becoming one of America's fastest growing sports. It's a sport that demands special skills and offers challenge and competition. Skateboarders are constantly finding new applications to the sport. Skateboarding certainly has movement and freedom and style. Although skateboarding is fun, it is dangerous to the rider who isn't aware of the do's and don'ts. Many skateboarders often ride illegally over surfaces which are meant for automobiles. This gives the sport unique hazards. Riding a skateboard, a fragile and unprotected human body moves over hard surfaces at relatively high speed. Grave injuries and not infrequently fatalities result from collisions of skateboard and automobile. On a skateboard, there aren't too many ways to break the ever-increasing speed. The key to skateboard safety is common sense. Choose a safe place to practice. Skating on the streets is hazardous and in most cases against the law. Thousands of serious injuries occur each year. Skate free. It's not difficult to understand the potential hazards in hitching a ride. Learn to fall. Most injuries occur simply by falling. A falling person instinctively cushions his fall by extending his arms. Broken arms frequently result. By rolling with the fall and absorbing the impact with the shoulder, a person is less likely to be injured. Practice falling on a gym mat. Then taking a few practice rolls is a good idea. Your own driveway is a good place to practice and learn. There are bound to be falls and bruises in skateboarding, so it's a good idea to wear clothing that offers a bit of protection. Hands and elbows can be protected by wearing gloves and elbow pads. Shoes are a must. Special lightweight helmets offer excellent protection against head injuries. Still, avoiding falls is best. Select an area that is safe and free from potential hazardous pebbles, rocks, cracks, and other debris. At skateboard level, it's easy to see the hazards that cause a lot of skateboard falls. A large bicycle wheel easily rolls over ridges and cracks. But a skateboard wheel is a great deal smaller. Where you might encounter some pebbles or cracks, skate at a speed within your ability so that you can bail out easily and without injury. Allow for your speed. If you are planning to skate faster, you will need more skill, distance, and time to make a proper controlled stop. But no matter how skilled you are with the board, you must be alert to the potential dangers ahead. Keep alert. At 15 miles per hour, you travel more than 40 feet in a couple of seconds. Looking back, even for a second, can be a dangerous move. Laws controlling skateboarding vary in different communities. Make sure you know what they are where you live. Skating where pedestrians are likely is not a good idea. Remember, they have the right of way. Many thrills lie ahead. There are big challenges and big hills to conquer. But not all challenges are wise. Most are dangerous. Stay within the limits of your ability. Pushing those limits can be fatal. Following your buddy is tempting. What would you do? A smart skater will avoid intersections where the dangers are very real. There is only one way to approach an intersection: on foot. Safety makes sense. A bad wipeout can take you off the board for a very long time.
Hey, come on, Lance.
Many fun-filled hours lie ahead for every skateboarder. And there are fewer aches and pains ahead for every new rider who follows these common-sense safety pointers. Have the control you need to make a safe bailout. Practice in safe places, such as your own driveway. Practice taking wide turns, then gradually increase the sharpness of your turns. When mounting the board, position one foot so you balance on it comfortably while you propel with the other. This will be either just ahead of the rear wheels or just behind the front wheels, whichever feels best to you. Don't attempt foolish shortcuts. Check out surfaces you're going to ride on. Always give pedestrians the right of way. It is rightfully theirs. Practice falls. Walk your board across intersections. Make regular checks for worn bearings or loose bushings. Skateboarding is fun, but don't take it for granted. Follow the rules of common sense. Ride safely. Get good without getting hurt.
I only had one experience with a skateboard, and it was my neighbor had one that had metal wheels. So this is really before the rubber wheels got popular. Went down my driveway, hit a pebble. Yep. Decided that was just not for me anymore. So there you go. But have lots of friends who had skateboards. So especially in college, lots and lots of people in college. All right, so this next film is, it's a fairy tale. It's Little Tom Thumb. Oh yeah, I should say, thanks for coffee. People have been buying me coffee, and I appreciate that. So you can certainly buy coffee and support the neurons firing in my brain thanks to caffeine, as that is basically my drug of choice. Anyways, yeah, so Little Tom Thumb. I believe this is animated. And it might be British animation. Bachelor, it was Bachelor Haas. I'll look that up. Alright, so here we go, Little Tom Thumb.
Long ago, there lived a woodcutter and his wife. They were very poor, for they had 6 growing boys to feed. When the 7th son was born, he was no bigger than a man's thumb, so they called him Little Tom Thumb. The woodcutter carved him a cradle no bigger than a matchbox. One night, soon after his 7th birthday, Tom Thumb awoke to the sound of sobbing.
Poor mother,
thought Tom.
what is she weeping for?
He had to find out. He could hear his father talking of the great famine in the land. "We cannot feed them any longer," said the woodcutter. "We cannot watch them starve to death. Tomorrow we must take the children into the woods and lose them." Next morning, while the rest of the family ate the last of the bread for breakfast, Tom Thumb filled his pockets with all the white pebbles he could find, and was just in time to join the others as they set out for the forest. While the children were busy, the father and mother crept quietly away and were soon out of sight, for the trees grew thick in the forest. The first to notice that they had gone was Tom Thumb. When the other boys realized they were all alone, they began to cry. Little Tom Thumb was not afraid, for on the way he had dropped the white pebbles in his pocket all along the path.
Just follow me,
he said cheerfully, and back they all went the way they had come. The woodcutter had found a sum of money waiting for him on his return, so they were able to buy food. But the unhappy pair feasted with heavy hearts, for they wished their children could be there to share in the good fortune. How glad they all were to see one another again. How they talked, how they ate. They forgot how hungry and unhappy they had been. But all too soon, the money came to an end. Little Tom Thumb knew that they would be left in the woods again. Once more he thought of the pebbles by the brook, but next morning the door was padlocked. "Here's your breakfast, Tom," said his mother, and as he took the bread she offered, Little Tom Thumb thought he would use breadcrumbs instead of pebbles. Off into the forest they went, and Tom sprinkled his breadcrumbs along the path. Once they were in the middle of the forest, the father and mother left the children working and crept away. And as before, the first one to notice that they had gone was Little Tom Thumb. While his brothers were weeping, Tom Thumb believed he could easily find the way back by the crumbs he had scattered. To his dismay, not a crumb could be seen. The birds had eaten them, every one. So Tom had to think of another way out of the forest. From the top of the tallest tree, he could see, far away, yes, a light. They set off towards it through the growing darkness. "What do you want?" asked the good dame who opened the door. When Tom explained that they were lost, she let them in. It was wonderful to be warm and to smell good food again. Tom thought his troubles were over. "Under the bed," said the ogre's wife, for her husband was an ogre who ate little children. And no sooner was he inside the room than he began to sniff.
"I smell a fresh flesh,"
thundered the ogre, and in a single stride he was by the bed. "I thought so," he snarled. "I'll have you for breakfast on toast." When his wife pleaded with him, the children were allowed to spend their last night by the fire, while the ogre contented himself with a whole sheep for supper. Leaving the ogre to sleep off his heavy meal, little Tom Thumb roused his brothers, for he wanted to be far away before breakfast time. "Gone!" yelled the ogre. "My good breakfast all gone! Bring me my boots!" He wanted his famous 7-league boots so that he could overtake Tom and his brothers. The children had been running all through the night and were nearly home when they paused to rest. They were all weary, but Tom Thumb kept watch. When the ground began to shake, it could mean only one thing. The ogre was approaching, and it was time to hide once more. The ogre had covered a lot of ground searching for the boys and felt like taking a nap. "Quickly now," said Tom, and he sent his brothers off home. He intended to follow them later, for he still had something to do. Very, very gently, Tom Thumb pulled. The boots were heavy and large, but they fitted whoever wore them. The ogre slept peacefully on, while Tom Thumb took 7-league strides in his boots. In no time at all, Tom reached the ogre's castle and helped himself to the ogre's stolen treasure. When Tom Thumb returned, the family's troubles were at an end. They all lived happily ever after.
So yeah, that was Hallis, one of Hallis. I think it's Bachelor, and I feel like they're British animators. This next film is interesting. It's called Crossroads USA, and I think this is a digest of a longer film. Like there was a longer film that had this kind of narrative and drama all fleshed out, and it's brought to us by the American Petroleum Institute. But it's just watch it and let me know what you think about this. It's such an odd thing, and it does feel like it was narrowed down, but anyways, Crossroads USA.
Mr. Kearns.
Good to see you, Andy. What's up?
Well, I just stopped by to tell you I'm not going to be able to take that job you offered me here.
Why not, Andy?
I just can't.
I figured what we talked about might work into a pretty good deal for you.
Thanks, Mr. Kearns, but I'm leaving town. In fact, I'm on my way right now. Goodbye.
Well, it's okay. That'll be $2.80. Leaving town? Why?
I'm sick of this place. I want to go where I can make some real money.
Hi, Joe! About a mile
up, the road's washed out. Completely blocked off.
Yeah?
I'll let you know when the road's open.
Okay. Folks, welcome to wait inside. You might be more comfortable.
Yes, thank you.
I can't get through down there, Joe. I want to use your phone. Okay. The lights. Folks, I'll have a lamp on in just a minute. There, that ought to do. Can I fill it up?
This will probably be a blow to you, but I just stopped for a cigarette.
Oh, that's okay, but the way you're headed, the road's washed out.
Oh, brother.
Those people in there are in the same fix. Why don't you join them?
Okay, dill me, and I'll pull on over.
Right over there. Another reason for expanding the station. Make more room for people when the road's blocked.
Handle it, 20?
Yes. Mr. Marshall and I are sort of in the same business, just different ends. Retail's mine, production's his. He just did something that nobody ever did in these parts before. He struck oil.
Struck oil. Boy, that's the kind of luck I'd like to hit all of a sudden.
So you think I was lucky, huh?
Oh, weren't you?
For the past few weeks, that's all I've heard. Luck, luck, luck. I feel I earned what I got the hard way. My break was a long time coming, son. It isn't easy to find oil. It's even tough to find a place that looks like oil land. I'd been wrong plenty of times before, but I had a certain peculiar feeling about this last place. So you study the geology of the ground, see if it looks like any other oil land you've ever seen. Finally, maybe you find a shell fossil that gives you a real clue. Then, with a little bit of dynamite, you set off some charges under the ground. The vibrations of the explosions are picked up on a seismograph. And from this, you can tell whether there's even a chance for oil down there. A lot of work, a lot of dollars, a lot of engineering knowledge is represented in what you finally see towering against the sky. So you start drilling. And that's an experience like nothing else in the world. You'd have to go through it to know all the heartbreak. It takes money, men, machinery, patience, sweat, and guts. And of certain things, like money, you've only got so much. And you know that while carrying this kind of an operation, the odds are 8 to 1 against you. Yep, 8 to 1 that you'll go broke. Day and night you drill. You remember all those other times you'd come up with nothing. But still you go on. Even when you know you only have enough money left to drill 10 more feet. Just those 10 feet further. Then, unless you hit it, you're through. With just another one of thousands of dry holes. When you get the final answer, too much has gone out of you in the long, tough pull for you to have much feeling left, one way or the other. Then there it is, at last. A lump of mud. Oily. Success. Well, when you hit oil in a new part of the country, a lot of oil company representatives come flocking to bid for drilling rights on all the surrounding land, public or private, just on the strength of one well coming in. I guess that brings us back to here. Where pretty soon now, your jobber just might be bringing you oil and gas right out of my well. Could be. Who knows? Everyone around here is pretty excited. Things are going to really boom.
It seems to me this is a pretty good place for anybody looking for a start. If there's going to be so much money floating around here, how do I get some of it? There are definite rewards for individual initiative and determination, patience and courage. Yeah, sure, I know. I've been hearing that Horatio Alger stuff till it bounces off my ears. Office boy to president. You, too, can own a big convertible and marry the boss's daughter. Well, that isn't the way it works, see? You get out of high school, you get a measly little job for a few bucks a week. At the end of 6 months, who gets the promotion and the raise? Not you. They give it to the boss's nephew. You find out you're wasting your time trying to make it the hard way.
I know how hard it is to keep on believing in the right when you see people all around you doing wrong and profiting by it. You've got to keep faith in certain things no matter what happens. Faith in God, and faith in your country, and faith in yourself. Because if we ever lose that faith, our way of life will be lost, too.
Good, the lights. Oh, now how do we tell when the road's open again? Oh, the highway patrol will come along. That's something I don't think I'll wait for. All right, line up over there. Not you, kid. You and I seem to think alike, kid, along lines of getting ahead. I can use you, and I'm offering you a break. Frisk these solid citizens for me. You can be well on your way to that big convertible. Nice going, kid. Lucky, no bones hit. All you'll have is a stiff arm for a few days. I better get back on the job. You're going to be all right, kid. It's a good boy, Joe. I have an idea we're all going to be better for what happened here tonight.
Mr. Kearns, I've been thinking about that job. I was wondering if...
It's still yours, Andy. A salary, and after tonight, what do you say to a nice bonus on any business you bring in?
We hope to hear great things of you, Andy. You have it coming to you.
Come back and see us in a few months. We'll have everything.
Yes, ma'am. It'll be as nice a service station as you'll find at any crossroads in the good old USA.
Wow. I like that a lot because it's like, I'm sure there is a longer version of it somewhere, but I like it. You know, you have a way to kind of get the information about like, well, striking oil is actually a lot of work and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and then you have this person who's not sure if they want to continue to work at the gas station or not. And the robber, all that stuff. It's really just amazing. It's similar to Jerry Pulls the Strings, which was that kind of odd film about vacuum-packed coffee cans. and it's told through this boyfriend of this girl whose father runs a coffee packaging company. They do a play to show the history of coffee and how important coffee is. And so, this would be shown to general audiences and maybe even try to get some television time, because it is this narrative. It has a little bit of drama to it. And it also has an important message about oil and its opportunities for us. So I got so engrossed in watching it that I forgot to thread up the next film. That's what I was doing as I was talking to you. Let's see. All right. It happens. This next film is... Wow, I'm so off. I need more coffee. Room in the Tower. I think at some point I saw this a long time ago. So here we go. I have no recollection what this film is about. So here we go. Room in the Tower.
What's up?
Want to take me to a ball game?
I can't. I'm going somewhere myself.
Where?
2 friends.
Why?
He's got a new house. It's a very big and very old house.
Big deal.
I'm so nervous about meeting your sister.
There's nothing to be nervous about.
I forgot to get flowers.
There's no need to bring anything.
I wanted to bring something. I wish I'd had a sister and a home to go to like that. I suppose one place is the same as any other. I never had a home, a place to go to. When I was a little girl, I dreamed of a home. I wanted to be there so badly. But when I was there, I could never see enough of it. Then I would see her, only her, so very clearly. She seemed to be my guardian angel. She was lonely. She knew I was lonelier. The first dream was no different from the many that followed.
I'm Lydia.
Jack. His sense of welcome frightened me.
May I present to you my sisters, Audra and Lydia. My father, Edwin Stone. My mother,
Julia.
Jack will show you your room. I have given you my favorite.
The room in the tower. I followed, unable not to follow. And then a voice.
Wake up, bunnies.
I would awake. In bed. The dreams continued for years. They were comforting in their sameness. No variations. They held no special significance. During the daylight, they were forgotten. We never got to the room. It was just within reach. The conclusion was always the same.
Jack will show you your room. I have given you my favorite.
When was the last time? The dream was different. No greeting. No introductions. I was already there. Audra was trying to tell me something. Julia was not there. She spoke to me, as always.
Jack will show you your room.
I felt closer to the room than ever before. Something waited for me. And then
Wake up, honey.
I never dreamed the dream again.
Do I know this place?
No.
Oh, no, look who's here.
Mary.
Hi, oh, so glad you
Anise?
Yes,
Hi. Is everything okay?
yes, fine.
You're sure?
Yes,
What's worried
good.
about?
Are you all right, Anise? Oh, yes, I am, Ruth, yes.
You okay?
John can show you to your room. I've given you my favorite, the room in the tower.
This is lovely.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Good. You're much too friendly with us.
What?
Come look at the lake.
Oh, John, it's beautiful, isn't it? Oh, look at those old photographs. Who are these people?
Must be one of the original owners.
John, please. Wake up! Wake up!
Oh, very well.
Thank you.
How did you sleep last night? Were you upset about anything last night?
What? No, why?
I saw you outside. About 3 o'clock. I was up by the window.
You saw me?
Yes.
No, John, I was in my room asleep. You saw me at the gate?
Outside.
By the old gate. The old wrought iron gate, the fancy old gate. Really? By the old cemetery.
Denise, I don't know anything about a gate or a cemetery.
John, I'm not mistaken. I know there was a gate. I think that...
Sort of organized. I'll take the time.
Sorry?
I'm serious, you know?
Excuse me, John.
I'm so excited.
Anise. Anise.
Leah?
Jack. I'm dead.
Anise, you're with us.
Anise? Anise, are you all right?
I know what has happened. The dreamer has lost herself. The dreamer has lost herself to the dream. All that is left is to dream. What do I dream now?
So that's fitting, kind of a ghost story as we make our way towards Halloween. Yeah, I just barely remember seeing that film. I have a little sticker on it that says that I watched it, little half smiley face. But it was a long time ago, so sometimes I have notes about when I saw things, and sometimes I don't. But that was great. Made 1985, so that's kind of late in the game, but not the latest film that we have, but it's there. And so as a reminder, on I think October 30th, we're going to be showing some, in conjunction with some film studies grad students at NC State, we're going to be watching two kind of scary Halloween type movies, not Halloween, John Carpenter Halloween, but films about the supernatural that part of my series called The Haunted Classroom. And I think those are actually kind of made more for adults, less for kids, because there's some scary moments in it. But that's going to be coming up in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But thanks, guys, for tuning in today. We got to see a variety of different things, which was really awesome. Always love it. And we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah. So thank you for joining us for our 201st show. If you like what you saw, most of you probably have already subscribed or liked or followed, but feel free if you haven't. I don't know, somehow those numbers make it to where things pop up more, and so more people stumble across it. Also, don't be afraid to share it with friends and family or enemies and say, hey, you should watch this guy, or please don't watch this guy because he's annoying. You can buy me coffee. Great. Love coffee. And I just actually spilled an entire cup of coffee grounds earlier today because I had not had enough coffee to actually have the dexterity to transfer the grounds from point A to point B. That was galling. At least they weren't wet. Also, you can go to avgeeks.com and see other things that we have online, because we have thousands of films online. And but thank you again so much for tuning in. As always, love each other, and please rewind. There is a, you don't see it. Let me see if I can bring it here. There is actually a peace sign that somebody drew, but along with the love each other and the smiley face with the eyelashes. But the please rewind is the AV Geeks part of this message. The love each other and the smiley face is the skip part of this message. So everybody have a good rest of your day, and we will see you soon. Take care.